Greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality and health and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That's why we're here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 29 years of practicing pharmacy, I've seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system. It's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing, renewing, regenerating system a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we can help you. We welcome your phone calls on The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. If you have a success story you'd like to share, if you want to comment on our conversation, 844-236-6010 is our number. If you've got questions about the longevity products, ingredients, the longevity business, something you may have heard about, read about in the news, we can help you. 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised on the program, head over to brightsideben.com. You can order products right off the website. Also my blog, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com, which we update regularly with news stories and blog posts. Thank you to Robert Lundgren and John T. Collier for setting those up. Of course, you can also sign up to join the Brightside Ben team right off the website. Start yourself a longevity business and help spread the word about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program. Join the team. Join the Brightside Ben team. Join the longevity family. I've been part of the longevity family now for 18 years. And all I've seen is the company grow and help more and more people make money, help more and more people help other people. If you're interested in learning more, please call the Brightside Ben phone team, 866-735-2470. If you want to purchase any of our Truth Treatment products, you can go to truthtreatments.com and take a special look at our retinol 5% gel made with vitamin A, with retinol vitamin A as well as vitamin C. Never any preservatives, fragrances, fillers, waxes, water. Everything in a Truth Treatment product is going to be functional and active on your skin, and that's the way it should be. You shouldn't have to pay for stuff you're not using, and that's what wax is, and silicone and oil and fillers, etc. Okay, so we're talking fats. I just love the idea that fats are good for us. I love ideas that are out of the box, that are contrary to what most people think. And when you walk down the street and talk about fats to somebody who's uninitiated, who doesn't really understand nutrition or isn't participating in the world of nutrition, people don't have a good feeling about the idea of fats. We like the taste of fats, certainly, and there's a reason for that because we need them, but fats are underappreciated. And I love the idea that you got this powerful nutritional element, fats, that we can exploit and we can leverage for the health of our skin, the health of our bones, the health of our organs, the health of our metabolism, the health of our blood sugar system. And it represents a place where we can work where most people haven't even considered. That's why EFAs are so important and at the same time so underappreciated. Essential fatty acids, EFAs, omega-3s, omega-6s. Part of the reason why we don't really appreciate these things is because they're so confusing. The most important thing to know about essential fatty acids is the idea that they're essential. You need them. You better get them. And you're not going to get them in your diet, really, to any great extent because of how we process our fats. Now, when EFAs are in the body, they're activated. And these activated EFAs are essentially hormones. They're called eicosanoids. We said that yesterday, and hope nobody's getting freaked out by the term eicosanoids. Eicoso means 20, noid means hormone. Eicosanoid, hormones that have 20 carbons. That's basically what it is. You can think of these as our inflammation hormones, or also our anti-inflammation hormones. Fats are used for a lot of things. Fats are used as a source of energy. Fats are part of the structure of our body. If you look at your gut or your butt, you'll see fats are obviously part of our body structure. They're also part of a cell structure. But what's less recognized is the fact that fats are hormones. They're signaling molecules. And I'm not even talking about the fact that our fat in our body actually makes hormones. Do you know there's a whole class, this is all in the last 10 or 15 years we've realized this, but our fat, our bodily fat, is actually a type of gland. It's actually making hormones. And some of those hormones it makes shut down our fat appetite, supposedly, unless we get resistance. That's a whole other story. I'm not going to digress there. But what's less recognized is that EFAs get switched on. They get switched on to make inflammatory and anti-inflammatory hormones. These eicosanoids go by the names prostaglandins. Most people have heard of that. But there's other ones too, leukotrienes, thromboxanes. Drug companies love these things because by controlling them, you can control inflammation and anti-inflammation, pharmacologically speaking, that is. Of course, you're always playing with fire when you dumb down the body or manipulate the body pharmacologically, but the point is they work. Aspirin is one of the most effective drugs ever discovered, and it works by modifying or controlling the way the body works with eicosanoids, the way the body turns essential fats into eicosanoids. So eicosanoids are hormones, but they're not made in glands. They're made by every one of the cells of the body. Regular hormones are made in the thyroid, the pancreas, the different glands of the body, but eicosanoids are made in all of the cells. That's because these eicosanoids have to work quickly. Inflammation and anti-inflammation represents emergencies in the body. At least inflammation does, so it has to happen quickly. And anti-inflammation has to balance that inflammation. So there's a rapidity. With the hormones, the typical hormones, they call them the endocrine hormones, the hormones that travel in the blood. Those have a certain time element. It has to go, the brain has to turn them on, and then they have to go to the messaging goes from the brain to the glands, and the gland makes the hormone travels in the blood. There's a certain time element that's required for the activity of thyroid hormone and insulin hormone and hormones that are made in the digestive system, and hormones, pituitary hormones and pineal hormones and thymus hormones, etc. There's a certain time element. Eicosanoids know instantly, boom, you get scratched, you get an inflammatory response. That's instantaneous. So your eicosanoids are made in all of the different cells of the body. Here's one of the most important, if not the most important thing to understand about these anti-inflammatory and inflammatory hormones. We control them. They're under our control in the sense that by food and by thoughts and feelings, our eicosanoid levels change. In fact, these two aspects of our livingness, of our being alive, are directly and inextricably linked to eicosanoid production. Our hormones of it, check this out, this is so important. Our hormones of inflammation and anti-inflammation, and we know that inflammation and anti-inflammation are aging and anti-aging. They're disease and anti-disease. The inflammatory process in general, which is made up of those two halves, inflammation and anti-inflammation, is the key to understanding degenerative disease. And because of the relationship of eicosanoids, and because of the fact that we control them through foods, and we control them through supplements, and we control them through our thoughts and our feelings, this is where the supposed idea that our thoughts control our body, the supposed airy-fairy kind of Pollyannish idea that the medical model, the medical representatives have about our connection or our relationship to our health, it's science. It's not just goofy Boulder, Colorado hippie talk. It's hardcore science via this eicosanoid connection. Food and our mind and emotions are linked to eicosanoids. You think a thought, a crappy thought, you get inflammatory eicosanoids. You think a good thought, you produce anti-inflammatory eicosanoids. That's very simplistic, by the way, but that's in essence what's happening. Likewise with foods and likewise with feeling. This is so important. Inflammation is disease. Inflammation is the major marker of disease. It's the direct cause of all our symptoms of chronic degenerative disease, the pain and the slow healing and the breakdown in the body. These are all related to the inflammatory process, which is the eicosanoid process, which is foods and thoughts and feelings. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back right after this.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Be sure to visit GCNlive.com today.
Okay, we are back on the bright side. Pharmacist Ben here. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7 on the archive page at brightsideben.com. Also on benfuchsarchives.com. Both are searchable. If you miss a program or you want to review a program or review a subject, you can search on benfuchsarchives.com and brightsideben.com. If you, we're doing videos too. Myself and John T. Collier are doing videos periodically, once a week or once every couple of weeks on criticalhealthnews.com, covering various subjects. So you can head over to criticalhealthnews.com. We have a little newsletter going on there too, criticalhealthnews.com. And if you're interested in purchasing our Truth Retinol Gel, 5% retinol, folks. You're not going to find that anywhere. 5% retinol, non-irritating, with vitamin C, no preservative, no fragrance, no wax, oil, surfactant, water, emulsifier, nothing your skin doesn't use. You can find out all about it at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Okay, so eicosanoids are the control point for what happens in our body when it comes to inflammation. Anti-inflammation, given the unbelievable, stupendous relevance of the inflammatory process to long lives, to living a long life, to longevity, and to the disease process, it becomes really important to pay attention to omega-3 and omega-6 fats, which are the precursors or the inactive form of these hormones, these eicosanoid hormones. After supplementing, after making sure you're using your ultimate EFAs, foods, thoughts, and feelings, I don't want to say after, together. Those are the ways you handle your fats. Supplementing, foods, and then ultimately thoughts and feelings as well. All foods are going to affect eicosanoids, all of them. Spinach, lettuce, tomatoes. When people say to me, oh, well, I eat only organic, or I only eat vegetables, it doesn't matter. All foods are going to cause an inflammatory response, all of them. Because when you think about it, inflammation represents defense, and when you eat a food, something's gotten into the body. Of course the defense system is going to perk up. Hey, what's going on here? What happened? Defense and inflammation go hand in hand. Inflammation is a defensive response. So no matter what you're eating, if you have an inflammatory condition after you eat, it's going to get worse. This is why fasting is so helpful. If you have rheumatoid arthritis, if you have any kind of arthritis, if you have any kind of inflammatory health issue, which is all of them, osteoporosis or skin problems, acne or eczema or psoriasis, it's going to get worse after you eat, no matter what you eat. This is why fasting is probably, if not the most, it's on the list of the top most important things you could do to improve any health condition. And if you throw in foods that cause intolerances or foods that cause allergic reactions, gluten and dairy and eggs, peanuts and legumes and soy, etc., you can see where we have participation, where we're complicit in our disease process or in our health process. One of the ways the inflammatory process shows up, maybe the most important, is as blood clotting. You guys, I'm telling you this as a healthcare professional. Lay people may not realize this, but we have an epidemic of clotting blood. To add to all of the other health epidemics we have. And because all disease starts off as dirty blood, all disease is cell disease, but dirty blood is what causes the cell disease, you can see why this is important. Blood clotting is such a significant issue that the most expensive and the most popular drugs in the world, among them, in the top 10 list every year, are your blood thinners. And you can't go 30 minutes on watching television without seeing Xarelto or Pradaxa or Eliquis, which are supposedly less toxic. And oh, by the way, these are eicosanoid, at least partially eicosanoid drugs, anti-eicosanoid drugs. You know, supposedly these things are less toxic than warfarin, and they may be, but that doesn't mean they're not toxic. That means they're just less toxic than the most toxic drug on the planet, warfarin, Coumadin. Inflammatory eicosanoids are going to thicken your blood. It's defense. It's the way the body protects itself. Clotting blood is less likely to hemorrhage all over the African savanna after we've been bitten by a tiger. Clotting blood is one of the generic ways the stress or emergency or inflammatory response shows up. It's also, clotting blood is less likely to transport poison. So when poison gets into the blood, and I'm talking literally through foods, toxins from foods get into the blood is going to clot. And when the blood clots, or I should say blood clotting is actually a good thing in this way because it keeps the poisons from traveling around. However,